Okay, for today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the yo-yos that go with this particular quilt. The magazine is from Quilting, or American Patchwork Quilting, June 2011. And I absolutely love this quilt. I love the teal color and the oranges and pinks that go with it. So there are several different ways that you can make the yo-yos. One of the fastest ways to do it is to use this yo-yo maker that you can purchase at any store. Maybe you can see it. This one costs about $6 or $7, and it's a yo-yo maker, and it's the extra large one, and that's what the pattern calls for. I'm going to show you how to make the yo-yos first with the yo-yo maker, and then if you have some fabric at home and you just can't stand it and you want to get started making the yo-yos, you don't really have to have a yo-yo maker to do it. It just makes it a little quicker. So the first thing that you do is you need to have, there's two pieces to the yo-yo maker. There's the donut piece, which has the hole like a donut, and I lay it down flat on my tabletop, and along this donut there are little bumps every so often, little bumps. Okay, so I just chose one at random, and I took a magic marker and I highlighted it just so I can always tell more easily where I'm beginning and ending as I go. Okay, so I just highlighted that. And as I work, or when I begin, I'm going to have that mark about the 12 o'clock position. Okay, so this other piece of the yo-yo maker then also has these little ridges. They're little lines, and there are 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here again, I've added this little mark right here, because what I'm going to do, whoopsie, is to line this mark up with this mark when I put it together with the fabric sandwiched in between. And it just helps me to stay organized. So I've got my yo-yo maker all marked the way I like it. The next thing that I need to do according to the pattern is to cut some fabric 5½ inches square. And of course I just use my rotary cutter and my ruler to do that. And it's 5½ inches square. And I generally just start with this and use it as it is. However, some people like to do this one last step, and I'm thinking I may begin using this one last step because it makes things go a little bit quicker. What they say to do is take any kind of ruler that you have that has a 45-degree angle marked on it, line the 45-degree angle mark with the lower edge of your fabric, and so this is the beginning of my ruler, obviously. See, and right here is the 1-inch mark. So, and I don't think you can see that at all if I hold this. So here's my 45-degree line, and I've lined that up with the bottom edge of my fabric, and the 1 inch is here. 1 by 1 is at the very point. So then I'm going to just cut this off with my rotary cutter, and I could do a lot of these at one time. And I think I'll just stop there. Ordinarily, you know, if you're doing this technique, you do all 4 corners, but I'll show you how I do it if I don't cut off any of the corners. So here again, I have my donut, and I'm placing it flat down on top of my surface. And then I'm going to take my cloth and put it right side down onto my donut. Kind of want to center it there. And now, as you'll recall, I have that little mark right here up at the 12 o'clock. I'm going to put this mark also at the same place. So I'm going to kind of position this and then maybe peek and make sure that the marks are lining up, and they certainly are. You can see that those 2 marks have lined up. Then I'm just going to press this down to place. Sometimes it clicks several places. Okay, you can see this is where I trimmed some of it, and this is where I have not, and there are these corners. Well, all I normally do is go ahead and just cut some of this off, like this. Just like that. It doesn't have to be really exact. And now we're ready to begin sewing. Okay, when I sew mine, I just use this Coats & Clark dual duty all-purpose thread. Some people recommend that you use a quilting thread, but I really haven't had trouble with my thread breaking yet, knock on wood. knock on fake wood. Okay, so get a needle and thread it. Maybe about a 1.5 feet long. Make a knot at the end of it. And then you're going to start right here where this little line is. So I turn this opposite this, and I'm right-handed, so this is how I do this. And you remember the little place that I marked right here. I'm going to start, do you see how these are kind of like little smiley faces? Little smiley faces. I'm going to start coming from the back. I'm going to hold this piece of cloth down because I want it to stay down. Come from the back and go into the first little hole, little smiley face hole to the left of my marking. And I'm going to come up. Then I'm going to go down, making sure again that I hold this fabric down. Go down through the smiley face. Come up. And go down. One way that you can make this a little bit quicker as you're going is you come up through the right hand side of the smiley face, and before you go ahead and pull your string or your thread all the way up, you can just go down into the left side of the smiley face and then pull. Okay, so you're going to go up through the right of the smiley, down through the left, pull. I'm going to continue around until I get back all the way around here, all the way around, until I get back to the black dot that I started at. And I will meet you back here then. And now I'm back to the beginning where the black dot is, but I'm going to go once again into the first little smiley face that I did to the left of the black dot. Okay, now I'm going to keep my needle attached. There's enough. And I'm just going to pop my finger through the hole of the donut, and that pops it right apart. And now I'm going to just take, holding my needle, and pop this right off. The next thing that I'll do is just begin pulling and just getting this all gathered up evenly. So some people like to take both ends and gather from both sides. I kind of like to just do one side so then I still have my needle attached. I don't have to rethread it, and it's ready to go when I've got it all pulled. So there's my yo-yo. Nice yo-yo. Nicely done. And my needle is still attached, so I don't have to worry about rethreading my needle. Since I'm going to be sewing these down, like so, on top of the quilt top, I don't really care if my threads show on the back of my yo-yo. So what I'm going to do is just go through here to the back. Just make a little back stitch and go through, make a little knot there. Okay, and just simply cut that off. So here are some other yo-yos that I've made that will also be going on the same quilt. Okay. All right, so that's the way that you do it if you have a yo-yo maker.